Hello and welcome to the Fortnightly Frontier Season 6, Episode 16 with me, Myre, and over here we have Mr. Darjanator. Today we're going to be talking about more Star Citizen stuff. Surprise.
Me.
It him.
Yes, and today is a good day because we get to talk about Star Citizen. Any day we get to talk about Star Citizen is a good day. At least it has been for now.
For now.
For now, yes. Very ominous for now.
I mean, like,
Dun, dun.
there's so much we can't talk about, which is sad.
That is true. That is true. I guess we can say why we can't talk about it is just because both Myre and I are part of the Evocati test flight, and anything that's happening right now is
Yeah. Otherwise, Orton will come kicking our door down or doors down.
Yeah,
at the same time.
It's just
it would be a
he's
sight.
that good.
He will take a jet somewhere to Europe, do the splits, and kick our doors down. Fantastic, man. Anyway.
Right, anyway, yes. It is September, end of September, approaching October, which marks the quarter change, which means another patch for Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm. Patch 3.7.
Yes.
Right on.
Many things happening. It's a good patch, this one. I mean, people have been, as they will, have been complaining about how, everything has been moved from 3.7 to 3.8 and 3.9 and beyond, but this is not the case. The patch is still chock full of goodness, and one of those things
is
the Mantis.
Oh, yeah. The Mantis. Tell me more about the Mantis.
RSI Mantis. Yes. It is one of ships by RSI. Looks to be like a refresh of the design language or a more a modernization of it, I guess.
I think it's more along the same wheelhouse as the Apollo, honestly, because the previous line are supposed to be older ships, like maybe 50 to 100 years old, so I guess it makes sense.
The Constellation and the Aurora, and the Apollo and the Mantis are still maintaining the signature look, but more streamlined, fewer, busier shapes, kind of more anvil in its approach, but still maintaining its own identity, I guess.
Yeah, it's got that like stocky anvil wedgy kind of feel, but at the same time it does have more. I mean, it looks like they built this as they were building the Apollo, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Possibly as they were creating the concepts for one of the ships, they liked two of them enough to keep and have one for the Apollo and one for the Mantis.
Yeah. But so what is the Mantis exactly? I know that it brings a whole, it's supposed to be bringing a whole new form of gameplay. It's the first ship of its designation. And that is called
an interceptor or interdictor. I don't know. They started confusing those terms, and they have confused me as well.
So this is the first ship in the lineup of enforcement ships. That's what they're going to be calling this. So.
Enforcement, right. Okay, so basically dropping you out of quantum travel and keeping you there.
Which is interesting because technically the Avenger is an enforcement ship. It's an like a space FBI advocacy police ship. It is an enforcement ship, but it doesn't have a quantum interdictor, so it's not, enforcement as they call this.
One of them has an EMP drive, which is more of a blunderbuss. Yeah, more of a blunderbuss compared to like a more precision shot of just a quantum interdiction. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that's going to be implemented. Well, we've had quantum interdiction in the game for a while now, but it's basically just by NPCs, and they're basically just adding that capability to random ships. But this will be the first ship to have that capability
as an actual mechanic.
As an actual mechanic, as an actual component, as an actual part of the ship. Yeah. We don't know much about it. There hasn't even been a Q&A released.
So even though the Q&A hasn't come out, though, they have, however, given some information to two newspapers. Infostar, it's not Infostar, as what was it called again? There is
Newsweek.
Newsweek, that's the one.
Yeah. And the German one...
GameStar?
GameStar, that's the one.
What,
yes.
yeah. There was a star in there somewhere.
GameStar, yeah.
Yeah.
Good show, yes. Also, I just realized that, of course, they were gonna... Traffic. Of course, they were gonna choose GameStar as their publication of choice for these exclusives. Because it has star in the name.
Of course. Of course. I mean, like... of course.
But yeah, we don't know much about it, so this is going to be a lot of it is going to be speculation and theory crafting, which is what we do best, even though we don't really like doing it.
However, what we do know about it, we have from those articles, and so we can talk about some of the things that they have alluded to in those papers, such as with the quantum interdiction drive, how it's supposed to have two different ways of working, if I remember correctly.
The way I see it is basically it's probably more simplified than that. It's you fire it up and you create a bubble, and anything that comes into that bubble is immediately dropped out of quantum. And then if you keep the bubble running, it means they can't reinitiate. They have to get out of it on conventional drive or disable your ship, one or the other.
So what I don't have the article up right now. What how I interpreted it was so you spool it up, yes, and then it will make the bubble, yes, and when it's like that, any ship within a 2-kilometer radius would then not be able to quantum drive out. 20 kilometers.
10 to
2
20
kilometers would be dumb. Sorry, yeah. Wouldn't be able to quantum travel out. But as for stopping other ships, I didn't really understand exactly how that was supposed to work. Is it that you sit in one place as a road bump and anything that tries to quantum pass is done, or are there going to be deeper scans like that are going to be put onto the ship so you can see things coming at you in quantum to know to target that specifically to quantum?
I think the Newsweek article alluded to that. You will get a I think it was a quote by John Crew that you will receive a more I guess a quantum scanner, for lack of a better term. Just to see what's happening around you. But, I just wanted to touch upon the actual mechanism of this thing. Like, it's kind of basically just casting a net and really pretty much is like casting a net and hoping something falls into it. For instance, in Elite Dangerous, you actually have a mechanic of hunting another ship down during the frame shift drive, and then attacking their quantum drive or their frame shift drive sort of field and trying to collapse it.
Right.
But here it's basically just you're somewhere, and then you have basically if you position yourself in a on a busy say trading route between Port Olisar and Daymar, right? So if you go from Daymar to Port Olisar, you can actually it's not just a single line from the moon to the station.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can initiate at any sort of point on the surface of Daymar. So it's like a cone towards it. And that cone is a lot, it has a diameter or a radius a lot bigger than just 10 kilometers.
Right.
So it's kind of like very you'll be covering a very small area of possibility of what traders just on that single trade route are going to be taking. So
yeah, that's why I think that the way it's gonna work is that rather than like you just being a speed bump, you'll have to target some. Your quantum thing will say something is coming with a name on it. Would you like to interdict them and not, like Dread Pirate Roberts next to them or something?
Yeah, and then you have to, in the time that it takes them to get to you, you have to move your ship to the specific spot where they will be flying through.
Yeah, I would just love to see how it works because when I think about it, the way you've said it seems like you're gonna need a ship that's stupid fast in its own right to do something like that.
Maybe that's why it's a single person ship, but smaller than usual.
Right.
Than what you'd expect, So it would have to be part of a team of ships,
Right.
You just have the Mantis to drop people out of Quantum.
You would never see a Mantis on its own.
Oh no, of course not. There was an image on Reddit posted recently. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Single Mantis against the entire UEE fleet. So drops everyone out of Quantum, and what happens next? Everyone in the UEE fleet fires once. The Mantis is atomized. Sunday lunch continues.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't really. I feel like the Mantis is going to be one of those ships that people want in their. When I say fleet, I don't mean one person and the owner of these ships. I mean like in their multiplayer
Not
fleet playing
group.
with people. Yes, it's going to be one of those things that people are going to want to have because that utility is really, really useful. But at the same time, no one's going to want to be that person flying the Mantis.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the, oh my God, that guy dropped me out. Shoot him first and then everybody else. It's a very risky thing to be that guy who dropped people out, because people are going to want to kill you.
Yeah, you would want to be inside a bubble of other ships protecting you from everyone. Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna make it so that the quantum interdiction drive doesn't work if you're in a physics grid, because that's the only way I can see it not being able to be used from inside an 890 jump or a larger ship.
Okay. Yeah, or parked on top of
top of a Kraken. Yeah. Can you imagine? Because that in my mind is like the best way of using it, just like send somebody to walk up to the deck of the Kraken, turn it on, walk out and then be more useful doing something else.
Or maybe that's exactly the sort of emergent gameplay they're counting on.
Possibly.
So I think if it worked like that, you could definitely use an 890 jump to do that, because you can park it on the elevator that's extended.
Yeah, true. Even if it's too big to fit into the ship
inside,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you can park a 600 there, or I've seen a successful parking of a Valkyrie that then just stood there while the 890 jump flew around, and it was fine. Another possibility, like Crazy Toucan points up, it could be a ship proximity limit thing. So you have to be, you would have to be far away from another ship for it to actually start doing its thing.
Yes, of course. Otherwise, the bubble will be kind of like interrupted or broken up, so it wouldn't be able to do its thing. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. I mean, because Star Citizen is an MMO, it's a massively multiplayer online RPG. I feel like having more ships doing very niche roles is important for that. A lot of people aren't very happy that it's like the Mantis is the ship that does the quantum interdiction at the moment. They're like, why can't something else just do that? But I feel like if that was the case, then there would be too much jack of all trades going on. Yeah.
There will be. There will be
more enforcement ships, but I don't think that an Aurora can strap on.
Oh no, definitely not. I think a Mantis is the smallest size of ship you can do that, and even then it requires you to turn to it requires so much power that it will sap shields, it will sap weapons,
not
and thrusters,
100%,
maybe
but
not 100, but limit that functionality. So maybe a Kraken would be able to install one of those modules without the Mantis
Mm.
and still have enough power from its power plant to run the rest of the ship.
Right. I mean,
And then, but and then maybe you'll have a size 3, size 4 interdiction device, with bigger bubbles.
So one thing that the devs did bring up was that right now, because we're still in alpha, of course, and the ship isn't even out, so everything is still way up in the air. One thing that they didn't mention was that when this comes out, it may be able to drop out an 890 jump or whatever. Probably will, just because they're testing the mechanic out and it's the only enforcement ship. But they did say that maybe in the future there might be like the case where one Mantis may not be enough to take out like a capital ship.
I see. So like you would have a certain, let's call it a stability factor to your quantum field,
right?
Quantum drive field, and a single Mantis can't create an interdiction field or strong enough to disrupt it enough for the bubble to collapse. So you need a big, more than one Mantis, or maybe a ship with a bigger module.
Yeah, like a size 2 or size 3
or whatever it is. Yeah, because we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Although I'm guessing it's a size 1 because it is a single seater ship.
Yeah.
I wonder actually just how big it is. Kind of looks a bit bigger, maybe like a 300i, maybe something like that, or
something
slightly
along
bigger.
that size. Looking at it, it does look like it might be like terrapin size. It looks like a terrapin to me in terms of its like silhouette. Like a fancy svelte silhouette.
Yes.
I mean, but let's bring this into more theory crafting territory now. As far as the gameplay is concerned for the Mantis, right? So we know that they've mentioned that the net, for when something is next to you and you don't want it to leave, to snare it in your interdiction field is literally pressing a button. Do you think that there is going to be skill involved in bringing somebody out of quantum as they come towards you? Do you think that they're going to implement some sort of actual skill-based problem into the mix, or do you think it's going to be just
it's a possibility? Because I remember from the Newsweek article that John Crew mentioned a radius of 10 to 20 kilometers.
Right.
So there is some sort of variation to that. It could be that there will be a sort of mini game like in mining where you have to feed power into it at a very precise ratio. Otherwise, you may overpower it and it just fizzles out.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just never gets to that point where it can actually create a bubble.
Right.
So maybe there will be some sort of mini game where only if you do it properly in the sense of mining, like you do it until you just crack the rock perfectly.
Right.
Maybe only then you'll be able to get the largest radius.
Right. Fair enough. Because we know.
What do we know?
I was pausing for effect, right? For a long time in Star Citizen, quantum travel has only been a straight line. But once we got planets and we got quantum splining, that ceased to be the case. So what I'm thinking is that because, 20 kilometers is not very big when you're talking about traveling several million kilometers to get from one planet to another, I'm wondering if quantum enforcement ships will have some sort of quantum strafe in order to intercept or not.
Oh, so instead of actually having to travel via normal thrusters to get yourself into position, you would actually have this sort of faster than thruster mode to put yourself into position, maybe using a quantum,
like a foosball goalie or a quantum Zoidberg or something, like.
Well, I was actually thinking about how quantum travel works right now and if it merits or if it even could be augmented in the future, but then I realized that with considering how far Squadron 42 has come along, there needs to be an established technological preface to it without much change. Otherwise, it may break a lot of mission progression or how you move around in the maps during missions, etc., etc.
I mean, as far as
And
the
even the lore, like if a ship is late somewhere, or because it had to take this weird route, comprising of certain lines instead of just splining around an obstacle.
Yeah.
That breaks the lore. Right? It has to adhere to a certain system of quantum travel.
That's true, but I feel like you don't necessarily, I mean, like, yeah, quantum travel has always been like straight lines apart from when you're going around a planet. You can argue that you're using the planet's gravity well in order to turn. But as far as like quantum strafing goes, I mean, you could just say that, oh, the quantum drive is on a gimbal and it turned. And then that's why the ship's going one way instead of the other.
Ooh.
Because a quantum drive isn't using your engines or anything. It's just the drive working.
You're right. There is absolutely no reason why the quantum drive has to go in the direction you're facing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it could just turn and then like the count. Yeah. Like.
I mean, apart from aesthetics, so you feel like you're moving forward when you're in the cockpit. But yeah. That's actually a good idea.
And then, you can have some like red shift, blue shift, like quantum effects going on in front of you and that kind of thing to make it look like it's different from.
Yeah. Although, red is now a reserved color for interdiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, it might even make. Yeah, it might. I wonder if CI just going to be like, hey, how do you know this? Who told you? Who's the leak?
Also, jump points are a modified version of quantum travel, isn't it? It's like something went wrong with a quantum drive once, and it was right next to a jump point and just went boop. Because I think that's from the lore. So could an interdiction field collapse a jump point?
I mean, even if it could, do you think that they would allow it to?
No, definitely not.
Because otherwise,
you have a cap.
You will get the one organization of super enlightened trolls that would collapse every single known jump point at the same time.
Oh no! Maybe if that was a thing, it would only be on something like the Vandal Kingship or the Retribution. That would be powerful enough to create a disruption field strong enough to collapse a jump point.
If that ever becomes a thing you can do, I
imagine
it
becomes a thing,
it would only be temporary, have temporary effects or something.
Yeah. But even then, jump points are temporary in nature. Well, we have no idea how jump points are gonna work. I think they're preparing something for CitizenCon.
I really do hope. Yeah, I really do hope that we'll see something.
It is the
in
next
CitizenCon
step.
for it.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it is.
Also, would mean we get to see the Carrack.
That's right. Hopefully,
because it is a jump point exploration ship.
What was your money on the system that they would show with jump point traveling?
Oh, Pyro maybe. Well, they have Delamar, which is in Nyx, but Nyx isn't connected to Stanton.
It is not.
Pyro
is. Pyro is, yeah. And they actually showed off a Pyro quantum travel a long time ago.
Oh, was it the Pyro?
Yes, it was the Pyro. Like they arrived at like a red nebula.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You mean that was the old freelancer? I think there was a Chris Olivia animation. Still, I love that a lot. The looks of it was amazing.
I mean,
very liquidy.
It was on Netflix, not Reddit. It was on Reddit like a week or so ago. Somebody was like, "Remember, they already showed us quantum travel to Pyro." But it looked like just quantum travel. It didn't look like a jump.
You mean the one that looked like a wormhole with several exits, and you just going whoa?
No, I don't.
Oh.
So I don't know if you can put it there later. Probably. I don't think you will. But just if we
yes,
find
I can.
Now he's gonna have to do it.
And it's here. How long is it? How long do I have to hold this pose?
I would say if you just hold it for maybe 5 more seconds, you'd be fine because it's just arriving there.
All right.
There you are.
All right. Okay. So, well, here's a new thing. Usually it's the people on Twitch who get to get cool stuff and people watching on YouTube don't. But here it's people on YouTube that get to see cool stuff.
So I just Googled Pyro Jump. Turns out that there is a mobile game called Pyro Jump.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it's pretty cute. It's just a
Also,
fireball
if
jumping.
there's actually nothing, and there is nothing,
Then
and
it'll
you
just
just
be me
be
going,
pulling my
"Sorry."
leg, yeah, I'll just put your face up there. Right. But where were we?
We're
Tangents.
talking about quantum interdiction and stuff. I was going to ask you a
Sure.
question.
Okay.
So,
Go for
and
it.
it was to kind of like go on top of the whole. Right now, all we have, or all we're going to be having, is the Mantis for the time being. Do you think? And obviously, they're going to be adding bigger quantum capability, like quantum enforcement ships in the future.
Mm.
Do you think that they will necessarily need to have a capital size one of those, or do you think like a medium one will work? And do you? It's a lot of do you thinks, but I don't understand why like something like the Warlock wouldn't be able to just remove its crap and put a quantum interdictor in there instead.
Probably because it requires too much power to run. That's the only reason that I can think of right now.
Right.
Because even a Mantis, which is a bigger ship than the Avenger Warlock,
Right.
which I'm guessing though then has a size 2 power unit, whereas an Avenger has a size 1. Even that they said it would require so much power that all the other systems will start feeling the effect.
Mm. That's fair enough. I mean, like power, kind of like usage and stuff right now in the game is still very, very not done.
It used to be better.
Yeah, I mean, right now you can take out.
I remember when we were dogfighting in Arena Commander, you were in an M50 and you had these stupid guns mounted to it.
Yeah.
And you fired 3 times and your engines just went out.
And then I crashed into an asteroid. Great times. Yeah, I mean, like, there is still some of that if you put in silly parts. Like, for some reason, the quantum drive that's inside the Valkyrie is very small, but it powers a big Valkyrie. So you can take it out and you can put it into a Mustang. And
can you? It's
Yes.
a size 2. It's a size 2 quantum. Mustang has a size 2 slot?
apparently so, yeah, because I can fit it into the Mustang. But the moment I spool it up, I can't do anything. The moment it starts spooling, everything freezes. Yeah.
But that's weird because I've been on an upgrade path for my. I think I finished it for my 315p in the PU. It only cost me 240 something thousand.
By Grabster's hammer, water savings, only 200,000.
Yeah, only 240,000 UEC to upgrade the coolers, 2 coolers, 2 shield generators, the quantum drive, and the power plant. They're all size 1s.
Right.
In a 300. So
it might be a bug that the Mustang has this
could
slot.
be. Yeah.
Because for it to work, you have to turn off the shields, the weapons, and like slow down, and then turn on the quantum drive. Otherwise, you go beep, bye, and you're stuck there for ages.
We have to go check that out because that sounds like fun. I do have a beta still, I think, or do I not?
Speaking of which, we saw that CitizenCon Mustang beta. I forgot how amazing that thing looked.
Oh yeah, yeah. The skin on it, I could do without the decals. That
say CitizenCon.
Yeah, but the color scheme is
yeah.
So there was a to go on another tangent, a bit of another person's theory crafting about what would happen with the ship showdown, the winner of the ship showdown. What would happen to it? And the idea was that it would be the next ship to get a customizer on the website.
Oh, ouch! Really? I don't think that the ship showdown was really done particularly amazingly, if that's the case, you
No,
know?
it's still going on, right?
I know it's still going on, but just like the ship pairings have been really
Yeah,
dumzo.
weird. It's like the 890 jump versus Dragonfly.
Who will win?
Well, I think this is more of a contest of preference for
True.
type of gameplay in the community versus which ship do you think would win in a dogfight.
But you know who's going to vote and why. You know people are always going to vote for the thing they like the most. But I mean, I guess if you think about it, eventually the ones that have lost will have lost anyway. It's more
Hmm.
of, oh, my ship would have lasted longer in the tournament if it was pit against something relevant to it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
It's an odd one. I get what they're trying to do, but it's still an odd one. Yes. But
Yeah.
yeah, if the Mustang, if one of the skins, future skins in the configurator for the Mustangs would be based on that Citizen Con one, I think that would be, it will sell quite a bit.
It would, but I think that would be a cop out, or at least not even a cop out, but I think that would cause people to be a bit pissy because people
No,
paid.
I'm not talking about the actual outcome of the.
No. I'm not talking about that either. I'm saying that if that like beige and orange skin that the Citizen Con thing
And black.
has, yeah, if that came out in the configurator without the badges in that same configuration, it would piss people
Yeah.
off.
Oh yeah, it would. It
Because
would, wouldn't it?
yeah, like but anyway, what do you think will be not the one that wins the thing, but I mean that could be a question as well. What ship do you think will be the next one to get the whole like configurator like attention?
Well, Origin ships are the one. Well, the 300i was the one that came first.
Right.
And so if it even matters, if it's even that granular, I would say the Origin chip pipeline is the one
Right.
that has that sort of granularity or technology behind it. So maybe the 100i next time.
Fair enough. But 1 second, we are being rated by a
We
uber nerd.
are, and I was trying to ignore it so hard because this is the YouTube segment and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because it's right here anyway. People on YouTube can see it and they'd be like, what the heck is
this one.
happening right there? How rude of Myre and Darj for not talking to the people in chat who are being raided. So Ubernerd, thank you so much for the raid. Guys from Ubernerd's channel, welcome. This is the Fortnightly Frontier podcast where we're talking about the Mantis and everything else that's happened in the past week or so of Star
I
Citizen.
guess we started with the Mantis, but I guess we're just talking about everything else that's happened.
That's
Star
right.
Citizen.
So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for all the love. Ubernerd, you're amazing. Thank you for the raid. You think the 100? I don't. Yes, I think the 100i would be an easy one for them to do because it's not out yet. But I would love more. I would love more love for one of the older ships to go into the configurator, like the Cutlass or something.
Oh, maybe the Cutlass specific. The Cutlass specifically, I don't think will, because it is so segmented already in its naming scheme. You have the black, you have the red, you have the blue.
But then with Origin you have the 300, the 325A, the 350 15p. I think that's
And they all got the same skins, yeah, but
no, they didn't.
They didn't get the celebration skins, but there were a bunch of other skins that you could that were interchangeable between all of them. You can have any of them in the ultramarine blue that my 315p is configured.
They have common skins, but they also have
Yeah.
ones that are not. Like the 325A
Sure.
has a whole bunch of greens you can't get on anything else. Wait, the Dragonfly beat the 890? I didn't check.
It was in the lead when I voted, and I did vote for the 890 just because.
I would have thought the 890 would have beat out the Dragonfly
even though
1000%.
Even though this, still fuck Drake.
Even though I have a pristine Drake bag, yeah. That's crazy that the 890 lost. By how much? I don't have the page open. I don't know where to find
Someone
it.
in chat tell us the final score. That would be
Please.
amazing.
That'd be great. But that's so you think that the winner of that's going to be the one to get I mean, is that what you think?
That was an idea that was presented on Reddit.
Right. Okay.
What I think is going to happen with the winner is that they're gonna very simply just gonna have a sale for it.
Most likely, or a free fly or something. And it's gonna be like, well, we already
free
have
fly would be
Can
good.
you imagine if the dragonfly goes all the way and it's a free fly for the dragonfly instead of like the 890 or something big that no one else really uses?
But definitely a free fly is gonna happen during CitizenCon, isn't it?
Most likely, it doesn't. It almost always happens around that time. That's anniversary time, as well. Or is that
You know what I think?
November?
I think it would. They would. It would do very well for them if they had a free fly every major patch.
Right.
If they don't already, did 3.6 get a free fly?
I don't remember. I mean, like sometimes they put free flies on random things like Australia Day and stuff. Star Kid and War Bond for all. Yes, nice.
I get the Star Kitten skin, and all the power to you if you wanna deck out your ship in hot pink and bright pink and ultra pink or whatever it is, but yeah,
it's not for you.
Not for me, no.
You know, I'm all for more variety though. That's not a problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, we actually just talked about seeing a jump point in CitizenCon, by the way. Royal with Cheese.
We did, and it is, I think, logical to assume that we will, regardless of any sort of leaks that we've had about it.
Yeah.
Just because it is the next step.
True. I don't hold much stock in those leaks because they can always change things, and who knows why that was there in the first place. But yeah. Anyway, I guess what we can talk about is CIG's or CI's new community manager,
Molly.
Yes. I don't. There is no community manager name under the ship competition thing, but she's the one writing the new This Week in Star Citizens and stuff. She came on board as of last week. She's coming from the Brighton studio of High Res, where she was the community manager for.
What did High Res make? I don't think I know.
They made the third person perspective MOBA called Smite, where you play as gods, like from different religions, kind of interesting. And they also made Realm Royale, which is a battle royale where you play as knights and stuff. You may not have heard of it, but they've had some pretty... and they also made Paladins, I believe, as well, which is another kind of battle royale thing. But yeah, so she's coming from that, and she's bringing with that her community managing expertise. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she'll do with the community.
Also, she made the post about asking for questions for the Mantis Q&A. I just checked if there was anything in regards to that before we started the show, just to see if, for some reason, I missed it. I didn't. But yeah, it was her name under that post. Yeah, welcome to the team. If you're
Molly.
watching, hello.
She's like, what the heck is this crap? How did I even get here?
It is the longest lasting podcast about Star Citizen to date. That's what this crap is. I'll have you know.
Yeah, it's well-aged crap is what it is.
Yes, indeed, yes. Vintage, yes, someone would say.
Like a fine wine. Yeah. Not like
more
a fine
like
wine.
vinegar.
Like a fine vinegar. Oh man! So we've talked about the Mantis. We talked about quantum interdiction. What we think the mechanics are going to be like. We talked about CitizenCon. We talked about Molly, and we talked about the competition that's happening. What else haven't we talked about that is recent as of at least this week?
There's stuff in the upcoming 3.7 patch that we didn't touch upon. We touched upon the Mantis, but what's coming in 3.7? We got attachments, better attachments 2.0. So instead of just some placeholder sites, we're getting proper sites. We're getting not mufflers, suppressors,
weapon attachments,
a flashlight, and a laser pointer, and recoil compensators, which is weird to see on a laser gun, a recoil compensator, but
I mean, like, the laser weapons in Star Citizen had climb anyway, so you can suspend your disbelief and say that whenever it discharges the charge, it makes some sort of, like, I don't know, some sort of thing.
It has mass, you're saying.
Yes.
It's not just light.
Right. For reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course they released a new mining. Oh yes, that's coming out. Like a FPS mining, first-person mining, mining nodes off rocks. They talked about
finally, a way for you to start earning money even if you have the game and don't want to start with the ship you want.
That's right.
Like if you want to go straight from the beginning, you hitch a ride to a cave. Also caves. Caves coming. You hitch a ride to the cave and you start picking stuff up and putting it in your backpack, mining precious minerals, and then through that you grind your way up to your first ship, and then you start doing delivery missions and bounties and stuff like that.
If you truly wanted to start off as that start of like pure start, but you would need some seeding money though, because you would still need the money to buy yourself a chest pack that has a backpack thing, and you would still need to buy yourself a multi-tool with a mining module. And then you would need somebody to drop you there.
Yeah, well, that would be a great way to augment the transportation service beacon thing. So you would still have to pay someone to take you there. But yeah, so what do? You would, I guess you would have to start helping your friends on multi-crew ships, and then with the shared missions, they're also coming. See, I told you 3.7 is a good patch.
It is one of those patches. It is one of those patches, like I'm not gonna say the Jesus patch, but anyway.
No, it's more like John patch, St. John
Baptist.
Sure, why not?
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not really good at my things. But yes, I guess you would have to start helping your friends out on multiplayer ships with sharing the missions to get some of the cash in, and then you get. Although do you think?
And sometimes.
Right, me too. But more specifically, do you think that considering now that you have a potential source of revenue without a ship, they would start selling a Star Citizen game package? No,
just
Star
without
Citizen
any ship?
game without a ship for less money.
Not until it was actually released. Not until like it's gone gold, I feel.
You think? Yeah, I guess.
Because
but it opens up that possibility.
It does.
I know a couple of people who are interested in Star Citizen, but not in the ships.
That wouldn't mind playing as a second-class
they're
citizen.
completely crazy to not, want to go for the ships, but they don't. I think it's like Saberwolf in chat.
Oh yeah.
He's all about that field medic gameplay.
Right.
You're not a pilot there. You're basically just a passenger on other people's multiplayer ships.
That's fair. I mean, I suppose there's a lot more to do, or there will be a lot more to do, especially now that we've started to see things like harvestables and mining and stuff for people to do without a ship. You will need people to take you there, but there is almost... It's like a anemic No Man's Sky right now, as far as that's concerned, for what people can do, but it's still stuff. And ship rentals will be coming with 3.7 as well.
Yeah.
Actually, this week, with the roadmap roundup, they actually didn't remove anything. They just added cards, and we talked about them.
Didn't they just reorganize some of the 3.8, 3.9 FPS weapons? I believe, or
Yes,
something
yeah.
like that.
FPS weapons have been reorganized, but they actually added cards. They added the Mantis, Quantum Enforcement version 1, and the MacFlex Rucksack Core. Yeah, so that's kind of all the news this week. Shuffles papers.
We usually don't do news, but
Not really.
No.
We had a
This is
phase,
more-
but it was just news, and then Darj would be like, "Why don't we just do the news?"
I don't want to do news. No, I want to do more opinion. Because I like talking out of my arse. Yeah.
It's like, okay. Everyone needs a hobby.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Are we nearly done?
I think
Have
we
touched
are.
about most of the
I mean, we talked about the Mantis and Quantum Interdiction.
the Good Doctor. We haven't talked about the Good Doctor,
Right.
which we don't know much about apart from the walk around. Was there a walk around on Star Citizen Life?
I haven't seen that yet.
No,
No,
it
so
wasn't,
I would
no.
like to talk more about it. I mean, we know about the lore. That much is true. That has been posted. It's pretty interesting. Pretty creepy, actually. It's one of those things. Cult leader kind of like taking over a planet, and it's pretty intriguing. But yeah,
But it looks nice.
from those still pictures that we saw.
No. I'm doubting myself. No, it was on Star Citizen Live. They didn't do a walk around, but they showed pictures of it,
Right.
with a
Okay.
bit more description.
Right.
And yeah, they said, "Haha, no, this is cool." I thought it was really cool. It is actually loading in a planet. It is actually loading in Hurston and dropping the map on it, because the planets in Star Citizen are so efficient. It just makes sense. Doesn't make sense not to.
Right. That's pretty cool. Like maybe over time it won't just be Hurston. It'll actually be what it's supposed to look
It's
like.
supposed to be Lear 2. It's supposed to be Maya.
Yes.
Slight different spelling, MYA.
Right.
Which is a similar looking world.
Okay.
Well, so it has a lot of trees, and it's very temperate. And so because it is an actual planet, I think it was Disco who said, if you manage to glitch out of the map, you can just keep walking.
Going forever and ever.
Forever and ever, yeah.
Full
and
circle.
come back.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to take a while.
I don't think anybody has done it with Hurston and stuff. At least they haven't posted it on any social media, because you get booted from the server or something before it happens. But with something like that,
Walk in on Hurston. Okay, the planet has around 2,000 kilometer diameter, so that is 1,000 kilometers in radius. The circumference is two pi r, so basically pi d. It is around 6,200 kilometers in circumference, if you manage to go in a straight line, which I guess you do if you just head forward.
Quick,
but you get obstacles in the way. If it was completely flat,
but it's not. They're mountains and stuff.
No, but no, it's just if a sphere was completely flat,
right?
Flat Hurston society. Yeah. No, if it was a completely smooth sphere, Hurston, it would still have a 6,200 kilometer radius. So that is how much you would have to run. And if your jogging speed, maintaining a jogging speed, so your heart rate doesn't go up, which would probably be in the long term the most efficient way of doing it. That would put you maybe at about 15 kilometers an hour pace.
Okay.
10 to 15. Let's say 15. Let's be generous. Let's say 15.
So while you're doing that, I think
while I'm bringing out my calculator,
I think
that it's still 413 hours.
That could be, I mean, once flora and fauna are properly in and once there are harvestables, I can actually see that being an actual challenge that somebody could give to somebody, you know? The challenge could be you start at Hurston, there is a set route that whatever challenge community or whatever has set, like that goes to different habs. You have to go all the way around Hurston, maybe without help.
On foot.
On foot, yeah. So you're jogging, like there might be the occasional like space monster that attacks you, you know, once the fauna comes in. You know,
so you have to defend yourself.
And you have like,
if you do that for 8 hours a day, that's still over 50 days of straight running and nothing else. 50 days in real time. Don't do that. Don't do that to me, Myre.
I know what I'm gonna be doing. That's content. Oh man.
You want to replicate Kurt J. Mac on his quest to the far lands in Minecraft Beta 1.7.
Oh god.
He's been doing that for over 10 years, and he's about a quarter of the way there.
But you see, with planets this big, the especially when more like, I guess, FPS discovery and that kind of stuff comes in, that's gonna be what some people will do. You know, that they're gonna be spending a lot of their gameplay on foot trying to discover these things that can't be seen from up high. Maybe if it's like in a canyon, or if it's like in a forest or something, and there might be like a cave entrance that you can't see otherwise, or some artifact. But yeah, I don't think that I would necessarily do the challenge that I just mentioned on foot, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe on a cyclone.
Maybe on a cyclone, yeah, it'd be much faster for sure. But what happens if you
50 meters per second? That's about 150 kilometers an hour. So yeah, that's 10 times faster, at least.
Right. So 5 days instead of 50.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah.
That's still a road trip.
Yeah, I mean that's more doable. Yeah. Like the great Hurston hustle. Yeah. Not a Daymar rally.
No. Yeah, that's especially with considering how fragile those Hurston wheels are and how easy it is to flip over.
Yeah, you would definitely
the cyclone
need
wheels,
a pit crew or something. Wheels.
Yeah, unless one of the attachments for the pyro multi-tool is it? No, it's not a pyro multi-tool. It's something else.
Is a wheel generator.
Or a wheel, well, just a welding thing, a fixer-upper.
But when the wheel gets damaged, it doesn't just like get damaged; it disappears.
No, it falls off.
Yeah.
No, it rolls off, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, if you set paths, in that rally or whatever to the rest stops or whatever that have platinum bays, you could possibly either
get a new one.
Yeah, repair or get a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you would be limping your way to every outpost then.
Yeah. But anyway, we've just about hit the 1 hour mark here on the podcast, so I think it's time to wrap things up.
It is.
Yeah. So
just like that, 1 hour, doesn't matter if we're in the middle of a sentence, in the middle of a thought. I mean, in the middle of an intriguing conversation when it comes to 1 hour.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Fortnightly Frontier podcast. Thank you so much for watching. It has been. This has been the live show on Twitch TV. You may also be watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, where you can find us at once again, or SoundCloud,
or Google Play Podcast,
or Google Play Book, or your mom's kitchen sink. Anyway, special edition.
Twice a week.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time in the verse.